I'm going to share with you on this video how to use tarot cards or oracle cards as writing prompts. But even deeper is that we get to see deeper into the characters and what they're going through with the tarot or the oracle cards. My name is Gaianna Sophia, and I'm here doing a video series on helping to guide you forward with using your intuitive abilities to create your novel. Super fun. So this video today, we are talking about basically how to use tarot with for character development, and as well as what's happening in the next chapter. You can also use it for plot development, but that we're not going to cover in this particular video. If you want me to do that, feel free to leave that in the description, comments below. If you haven't read tarot cards or oracle cards before, this could be a really fun way of beginning using them. But this isn't a video on how to use the tarot or oracle cards. It's how to use, like what kinds of questions you want to ask them. So if you're totally new, what I recommend is you go check out the Biddy Tarot, and she does a great description on how to learn how to use the tarot. I just love her work. And so this is more of a video for people who already have, dabbled a little bit into the tarot or oracle cards, and you want to play around with them with your book. So with this, because we're not talking about a particular person, like usually you'd use the tarot or oracle cards. I'm just going to say tarot because it's easier to compile it all in. But when I say tarot, I also mean oracle cards. When you use the tarot, you are talking to somebody usually, or yourself, and you already have a good idea of who you're tapping into. So for this exercise with your novel, you want to invoke your character's higher self or the novel's higher self. You can, it's good to have like a good kind of a container of who it is that you're dealing with. So when it's just a really simple way of doing it, just invoking their higher selves in order to do this. So when you ask questions, and this is for your book, you want to stay as close to your intuition as possible. So say a card comes up and it nothing resonates on it, nothing. And so let it go, because instead of trying to make it fit, trying to make it work, or even just using cards without, mentally, without tapping into our inner guidance, our inner feelings about this, could take our story way off course. So you basically want to use cards as inspiration pieces to invoke those ideas. So with the tarot itself, I personally really am enjoying using tarot for the book that I'm currently writing, and I'm finding that it just gives so much more insight, direct insight into a character, into more description into their conflict than oracle cards have. But that doesn't mean that we can't use oracle cards at all. They'll just give a different kind of insight depending on what deck you choose. So we're going to go now into the different types of cards, the card formats that I've come up with, that I've been using. So first I'm going to show you my favorite tarot cards. This is the Gilded Tarot. I really love their coloring, and I love the images that they have. There's a lot of emotion to lots of them, and yeah, lots of good symbolism that you can play with and read from. The next deck that I use is the Romance Angel deck. So if I'm wanting to do find out more about relationships, I'll go into this one, or I will use the Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland. And this one was by Doreen Virtue. So this one is actually a tarot as well, based off the tarot, but it's totally all to do with relationships. It's actually really, really good if you guys want to have like, cards for relationships. This is a really good one. So, and the other deck that I use is the Archetype cards by Carolyn Mace. And what I really like about this deck, this is kind of different than just regularly asking questions, is that, for instance, it'll give you the dark, the shadow, and the light attributes of a character. And so, for instance, the healer, the light attributes are passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit, ability to help transform pain into healing. And the shadow attributes are taking advantage of those who need help, failing to care for oneself. So you can see where this could be really helpful for inspiration. Say you're having a hard time finding your character's dark side, their flaws, so it's hard to find their character arc. You can, shuffle and then use a deck like this, for instance, to find out what it is that they're struggling with. So, yeah, or you could just go through it and, find the card that you're feeling most resonates. Maybe she's a teacher. And so, then it goes into the light and the dark aspects. Maybe they have problems with gossip, right? Ooh, vampire. I haven't gone through all of these ones. This is awesome. Anyway, so a monk nun. Yes. Okay. So anyway, as you can see, this is it's very, very full of a wealth of richness. And look, I can't even hardly hold it. There's so many archetypes in here. It's awesome. Okay. So now I'm going to just share a few spreads that I really like. So say, for instance, you're having trouble with this, like this next chapter, or even you're not having trouble. You just feel like a little inspiration would be a lot of fun. So, you do your regular thing of calling in your own higher self, protection, whatever it is that you normally do with cards, and then calling in the higher self of the book. So if it's for, the next chapter, what do I need to know? What would be helpful to know about during this next chapter? So then, flippity-doo-dah, 8 of Cups. That's right. And so you can either just go by, what you're seeing here, or go into the descriptions of what it's about. And this one in particular, this is a man who's on a journey, and he's got, it's like almost some wreckage, and so he's, but there's still good cups behind him, ones that are, full, and so he's like leaving what is important for him. So leaving things that he is beyond his sight. He's unable to see the jewels that he's discarding, seeing the greater horizons. So that's just one way of interpreting it. I forgot to mention that I really love the interpretations of this particular, the Gilded Tarot. They're super enlightened. Yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to share that. Okay, so there we go. We have, so for a chapter, so it would be focusing, then we could focus on, what is it that this person is leaving behind? What is it that they're not seeing in this? Why are they leaving so quickly? It's just like things like that. And so you'll be able to tune into what character that is doing that. And it should resonate. Okay, so another spread. And if you've been doing tarot for a long time, then you can use any of your spreads, basically, that you love. And but otherwise, say there's like a character where you're like, okay, feeling a little stuck about, where is this, what's next for this character, feeling like there's, they're kind of, it could go either way with a situation. You can do a 3-card spread. So let's just see here, for instance. If I were to ask for one of my characters, okay, so what can you give me some guidance about where she is right now and what is her possible future? So calling upon my character's higher self. Or you could even say avatar, my character's avatar, because she's representing. So then we go, and then we have, now you can do this in different ways. Whatever you feel set up for, past where she is now, future potential if nothing changes. You can always also pull more cards if you need clarification on something where it's like, the future, it could still go a couple ways, and then you could ask, what would happen if she did this or that. So where she is now. So the Hangman, so she's stepping out of society's, the norms. She's doing her own thing, and yet somehow it's backfiring because it's reversed, and where she's come from. So basically, she's known herself as a high priestess. She's known in her past life. She's known what it is to be in the total fluidness of her intuition. And the Queen of Swords. Oh, wow. So like, for instance, this would be, and she's upside down. So the Queen of Swords represents intellect. So in this particular reading, I would say that because it's upside down, she is letting her mind take over. She's letting her mind get the better of her. And this is why things aren't happening as well as it could be for her. So if I want a clarification, then it's just like, okay, well, can you give me a card to help clarify how her mind is not, what it is about her mind situation, what's in her mind is thwarting her. Okay, so the Hermit. So, and Hermit's upside down. The Hermit represents taking time for oneself. And in this particular reason, because of how I know my character, it would be that she's hiding something. She's hiding herself. She's not actually doing it on the, taking time out as a way to look after herself. She's hiding back and she's holding things back, and it's from mental issues, like from her intellect outsmarting her kind of thing. And so, which this all totally makes sense. So if that makes sense, then it's just like, okay, great. So I have a better, you get a better point of view, you get a better idea of what's happening. And this is just an example, right? You can also do this type of spread as, what's a character struggling to learn? What do they need to realize? And where is this headed? So that's way more in depth. And that's a good one too. And you can also do like a whole proper reading for a character as if they were a person. So like a Celtic cross, or any other format that you would normally use. Yeah. And so basically what you're wanting to find out is, and get inspiration for, is what the roadblocks are, what the challenges are that they're experiencing. And through the challenges of the character, we get to understand their personal character arc. And this also, and so that is like the driving of the story. That's one way that the story can be driven. It's one of my favorite ways, is just let the characters take over, but they have character arcs that I know very clearly, and I know what their weaknesses are and what they're attempting to learn, and then that actually creates the story arc as well. So it's a beautiful, beautiful way of learning. Yeah. So if you would like, I have a whole series of these videos that I've been creating, and so I'll leave that in the end, at the end of the video, but also in the description below. And if you have any other way that you like to use the tarot for telling stories, I would love to know it, and I'm sure our viewers would as well. And so if you'd like to leave that in the comments below, that would be awesome. And yeah, so blessings be on your tarot experience. May it be your tarot writing experience, may it be super beautiful and insightful and multi-layered. May it bring out the deeper subconscious story that, is just, it's been wanting to get out. Because all we need to do is get out of our own way, right? To reveal the story that's actually happening. And yeah, so it's a beautiful. I love these. I love doing this. I love cards, bringing the cards into that for that. So blessings be, and if you're a subscriber, then I will see you next time. Bye for now.